Real grade Gundam GP01Fb full vernier. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, Gundam Reviews.net. Happy today to be bringing you a look at this real grade excitement embodied 1/144th of the mid-season upgrade, as we got to see the GP01, the prototype Gundam, the one that everybody forgot, because of course, how did they go from Amuro to the Mark II with this in between? The less you think about it, probably the better off we are. But anyway, GP01 had to get a lot faster and a lot tougher, and if you're going to do that in space, that means adding on a whole bunch of boosters, and the full vernier FB here is really going to do that. Summer 2013 release, 2,500 yen. And don't forget, you can pick up this kit and so many more, including the FB, from the good folks at HobbyLink Japan, and there's full links down below in the description. Don't forget to check out my unbox of the regular GP01, as here I'm going to be comparing the two just so that you could pick them up, and if you were in retail shop, picked them up, you could see exactly which one you liked and why. The big difference when you just take a look at the advanced joints there is going to be the verniers attached onto the back, or the Burnerns. Yes, gotta love that. We've seen it spelled all sorts of different ways over the years, but you can see the big difference is going to be in that core fighter 2 down there. They both got 01 just on blue shoulders instead of the white. But when you've got that massive back end on there, it's going to be interesting both when it flies, even though they are off to the side, but a lot more useful when you're trying to maneuver around in space, especially if you've got to fight a certain man named Gato, and this is even before he would find out about his relationship with Ko's girlfriend. The other side, again, is going to be skipping past the details and just focusing on how cool this guy can look. Again, just a huge step up on the old 1980s style Amuro Gundam. This guy here is going to be looking good no matter what angle you put him at, or so it seems. Do you like the blue? Do you like the white? Personally, I like the blue here. However, in terms of just classic and buying all the leads, that's the one I went with for the MG. But now I'm sort of regretting that decision, as every pose you put this guy in looks good, as you get to see also a lot of the same features. They're going to be working whether you open up the cockpit hatch or not, whether it's in blue or white down there. You can see some great looking nozzles popping out of the shoulders for extras. And those chests, if they open up PG style, that's going to be impressive. But box advertising aside, it's time to go see what's inside there. Lots of colors there, as you're going to be getting your various shades of realistic decals there. Couple shades of white, and you can see the manual down there to go along with some more advertising. Yes, Master Grade 3.0. Here's the A-plate for the FB, as you can see the 4 familiar colors in there. And if you want to go compare it to the regular Zephyranthes, what are you going to be getting? Well, the chest parts, as you'd expect, are going to be swapped out there, and instead you're going to have these much bigger gates, and it looks like you can go and just cover them up, so you'll probably just detach them to be showing the gray parts underneath. And up here as well, you have this interesting part that you could paint up in clear green on the regular one there, or just add seals if you want. And of course, this guy's going to have a totally different set of boosters on his back, so that part is omitted. B-plate gives us Advanced MS Joint 5 there. This was already used in the Mark IIs. Can't wait to see it in action here. Here's the C-plate, which is going to have 3 colors injected there. As you can see, the parts for the shield and for the core fighter. And you've also got that chest part there. But when you go in to put this here, for the regular Zephyranthes, you can just see that all of these feet part, lots of little details there for his feet. Those are going to be omitted in the form of the bigger, angrier looking boots over there. And of course, the big difference is going to come with the blue up on the shoulders. That, of course, you'll probably want to put on that nice 01 decal. And when you go to buy this kit and you're wondering, well, is buying them both going to be a little bit dull? You saw that the A and the C plates already have a couple changes on there, but then you're going to be skipping them. D, E, totally gone, and the F plate is going to be half different. Here's the regular one, as you can see the parts up there for the ankles and a few parts for the legs, whereas this one is going to have his ankles down below in a smaller style to go along with those shoulders, which are looking very impressive as you get to go and add the nice blue parts to them. Here's the FB's G-plate, as this is going to be much more typical size. This is ABS plastic, and you can see that these parts are going to be omitted. These were on the regular one, and everything down below there is just going to be giving you everything that you need to get the extra thrust out of those ridiculously awesome looking thrusters. And whereas the regular one had E1 and 2 in gray as 1.5 plates, this is going to be all the way up to I. You can see again all the big changes that are going to be taking place back there, and just some other thrusters that are going to be all over the place. This guy ready to move in space. And the plastic party is going to be wrapping up with H1 and H2. You can see that FB has been on all of the later plates here, but you can see those big all-important ones for the sides of the Core Fighter 2 that are going to be looking good on the back. You can just see how deep that piece is there. The legs are going to be big and bulky with lots of lining options. And again, this nice new RG style where they're just going to be omitting parts so that you actually get to see the frame underneath, the kind of thing that was unimaginable in 1/144th not too long ago. The realistic decals here are looking great. As you can see, the eye options, green parts there, as well you've got these nice red parts for the knees if you didn't want to go and just paint them up themselves. Silver parts down below, and then lots of red and white to go and put interspersed throughout the rest of the kit. But I had to say that when I first took out the original one, I had to say that this one was a lot smaller than you remember most RGs being. This one more up to speed, although again, I don't think it's quite as many seals as we've seen, especially going back to the earliest days of RG. Nice looking manual here, and I love to see the gold Vulcans looking so good. If you want to go paint up the yellow pieces, just the fact that they're giving them to you in yellow already, way ahead. Full Burnern spelled out there prominently, and then you can see inside that you are going to be throwing away some of the pieces from the B plate, but otherwise you get to see all the parts laid out on a single page before you get to move on to some nice color there on the inside. Again, some great poses and some other panels that we've already seen. But you're going to be building up the Core Fighter 2 FB there, looking great / cheesy there, but I've always thought it looks great as opposed to the other one there. The legs, once you put them all together, you can see the instructions for the body unit there is going to be done up pretty simple. You can see that it is sort of interesting how they chintz out on color in some places. But when you're going to be adding on parts like that, how about those shoulder verniers there? The pods are going to be able to eject themselves, it looks like. That's going to be a lot of fun. And you've got here the reverse thrusters looking fantastic. I suppose you are just going to be popping off the yellow parts. You'll have to bag those up, but if you can pop out and or extend those gray ones, that's going to make it all worth it. And this is the kind of guy that you may want to have a couple so that you can show him blasting front and back. Either way, it's trouble, unless your name is Nina Purpleton. For the arms, can't wait to see how those shoulder pods are all going to work in action there. But you can see that the head is going to be fun to put together, especially with those yellow Vulcans. The transformation is going to be pretty simple there. And when you get to the back, you might expect a fold out, but that's not to be there. Simple construction for the beam rifle and the shield, although it's got some nice details in it. A big step up on old Amuros there. And you can see the pods moving, the attachment on there. And yes, you are going to be able to pop off those yellow fronts and slide them out forward before you detach or reattach the upper body. Tons of fun. And finally, it's always going to be great when they give you this many pictures here in color so that you can put the decals on accurately as you get to see it from all sorts of angles. There's the paint guide down there. What you're going to be doing to get that different color is white 95, gray 5 with a teeny tiny drop of blue. And you can go paint co-op. He's not saluting anybody here. He says, "No, Mom, if I don't want to eat my carrots, I'm just going to put my hands in my pockets and leave." Lots of fun overall with the double unboxes. I was worried a little bit that if they put them out at the same time, well, people would just be buying one over the other, or that they would also have the other problem where it's just going to be, if you did buy two, that they're going to be the same, and it's pleasant going through the plates and seeing that they are going to be different. The A and C's are different, as is the G plate, and once you get into those 4 plates of exclusive FB and FB labeled plates down there, it should be a lot of fun. The decals are looking good, the colors are absolutely popping, and just seeing the details there, even if you're just going to be putting on lining and top coats, these RGs have come a long way from the original MGs that had people so excited well over a decade ago. Anyway, stick around to see the parts in them all put together and, of course, a comparison. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts, and stick around for lots more news, reviews, and everything else you can use. See ya. Burnern? Seriously, man, what's the deal with that? Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, Gundam Reviews.net. Happy today to be bringing you a look at this, the real grade Mark II down.